What's happening, party people? I am still in Las Vegas, but probably tomorrow headed to California. So I'm going to be back on the move. Now, the night before last night, I posted a video that was translated into Spanish. I hope you folks know that the only reason I'm running this channel and posting these videos is to help people. Not black people, not white people, not tall people, not skinny people, not purple people, not green people. People. Doesn't matter to me. People is people. One of the things that I had a thought of was that, correct me if I'm wrong, but the #1 language on the planet is likely Spanish, Latin, that foundation, Spanish foundation. There's more people that speak that language than any other language on the planet. So I've been trying for years to find someone to help me translate some of these videos so that I can help more people. A lot of these people that speak Spanish do not speak English. Heck, I don't even speak English that good. I'm challenged when it comes to language. I've finally come to grips to this, and that's why most of my communication is basic and at a slow pace. I think people can understand you better when you speak basic words. Don't try to use big, fluffy, long, drawn out words, and speak those words at a slower pace so that people can absorb them. So I've been trying for years to teach myself how to speak other languages. It really doesn't work. And after several years of trying to find someone to help me translate these videos of mine, my daughter kind of took charge of that, helped me find somebody to translate them. The fee is kind of minimal, and now I am having a few videos translated in Spanish. Now, I started this over a year ago. I was so disappointed at the few views of the first one, it stopped me. My policy in starting this channel between me and God was, if 10 people will watch it, I'll make another one. Well, after 30 days, only 3 people had watched it. I was like, something going on here I don't understand, that these Spanish-speaking people can't find this video. So I'm a hold. So I didn't edit and publish the second one until the day before yesterday. I realized that somehow that video started gaining what I call traction. Many people was watching it. I got excited, immediately edited the second one that I had translated and published it. Now, again, I started off by saying I do this to help people. Immediately, a few hours after posting the video, there was several people that unsubscribed. So I guess maybe possibly these people seeing that video didn't appreciate the fact that I'm trying to help more people, and they what we call booked. You know what they say, adios amigos. You know, if you don't like that, I understand. If you bow out, have a great day. You know, it was nice knowing you. Thank you for the time you did spend, and we probably won't miss you. So anyway, I hope that you guys understand. I'm going to try to get a video remixed once a week and publish it in the Spanish-speaking language to help more people that need help. You know, so that's what I try to do. I'm not trying to please people in particular. Just trying to do my part on this planet to help people. Not trying to be anybody's leader. Just trying to help people with stuff they may need help with. So that's where I'm at. That's what I'm doing. A couple people contacted me, was concerned that maybe I got hacked. I haven't gotten hacked. I appreciate the concern. And that's my plans, and hopefully it'll help some people. Welcome to Hanging Out with Robert, that's me. This video contains things that I encounter throughout the day. If for some reason I complete a task and you would like to see the details, you can click on the link in the description area below. This video also contains tips and tricks that I learned throughout the years. I plan on leaving this video accessible for about 30 days. After that, you can view it through my Patreon account. Thank you very much for watching. Rained in Las Vegas the other night for about 12 seconds. So I'm getting all that dust and dirt off the car, going back through Tommy's. Then I'm headed down to the dealer to pick up some parts. They put a little wiper blade thing on the back of my car, wiper blade, I guess, guard. So I gotta get that off when I get down to the dealership. I doubt they have anybody out here to pull that back off when I exit. But we are moving right along. I am back from picking up the parts from the dealer, getting ready to put this car back together. The other day I put this rear main seal in and getting ready to bolt that flex plate up. Everything on that came pretty clean. Then I looked and there's something dripping from under this hydraulic mount. I thought that was something that had dripped on the mount. But I came down here to take a look at it. And this hydraulic mount is like I've never seen before. It is torn open and the hydraulic fluid is coming out of there. So I have one of these mounts. I need to locate this thing and replace this because this is not good. That mount's destroyed. It's leaked all that nasty stuff out of there. I don't know if I'm able to get that off of this garage floor or not. And it leaked a pile of it under there when I was raising the engine. I don't know why that wasn't leaking with the car sitting on it. At any rate, let me go look and see if I could locate the hydraulic mounts that I have. Here it is, folks. The brand new mount I had in my stash. It's the right location for this replacement leaking one. So I'm going to go ahead and install that. And then install this flex plate. Got the thread sealer. Permatex 59214. Getting ready to put this flex plate on. I'm going to check the torque value on it. Torque these bolts back in there. Some people try to replace the pilot bearing. I do not. The tip of that may fit in that pilot bearing, but I don't mess with it. I don't even see a clip holding that thing in, how to get it out of there. Let me go ahead and put this flex plate. All 10 of those bolts installed. Now I need to find a torque value and torque them down. Next on the prep list is replacing these heater hoses. You see they're bulging. Clamps are a little too tight. They're old. So I got new ones from Volvo. The short one is available from Volvo, but the long one is not. So the long one's going to be aftermarket, unfortunately, until we can find Volvo ones. I couldn't even find the hose replacements from DO88 to just do the hoses on here. So let me go ahead and swap these over. I got this one from the dealer, the other one from IPD. And then I'm going to clean this off so when I put that lower hose on that, that'll go on nice. Hit these with a wire wheel on the drill. Got them as clean as I can. I'm going to go ahead and put those hoses on there. I pulled this crank sensor to get it out of the way so I wouldn't beat it up with the wire wheel. It's got a lot of plastic on it. A little bit of corrosion on this pipe damage. You just gotta hope the hose clamps it usually does. That may come from using mixed coolants or something like that. But I went wire wheel all the way around. I gotta hit it a little bit more right there. And then I'll be ready to put these hoses on. This heater hose lined up. You see the line painted on there. It's pointed toward that nipple right there. Then you want to put your clamp in the middle of this thing and snug that clamp down. Next, I'm going to mount this transmission onto the engine. Now this engine and transmission needs to create a ground. So you want to make sure that this surface is clean all the way around on your engine and your transmission, especially if one of these has been sitting off for a while. This has only been off about 3-4 days, probably not a big deal, but I'm going to clean those surfaces anyway, just to make sure that when I bolt them together, I got a good ground between the transmission and engine, because there's a ground wire on the transmission, and you want all the ground you can get to be good. I'm also going to clean this out a little bit. I'm not going to disturb this torque converter. I don't want to make a mess out of that, so I'm just going to wipe that down and make this thing up and get this back together. I am going to turn this torque converter so that one of these bolts are in this area that the starter comes in, like that. And then when I put the transmission on the engine, I'll turn this flywheel around until the hole matches the hole that's there. They also say you could put a tape measure here, and you want this torque converter back about, I forget how far it is. It's like 5/8 of an inch. If this torque converter is too far in, then you can't get the screws to grab it through this flex plate. So you don't want that too far in. So let me clean the surface up, get this mated up there, and bolt this transmission on the engine. This is how your clamp should look on your hose. Just barely pushing in on that hose. Shouldn't be squeezing the living daylights out of it. So don't over tighten these clamps. Just put them in tight enough so that your hose doesn't turn and is barely pushing in on the rubber. If you put them much tighter than that, you're going to damage them. I got the surface of the engine clean. I got the surface of the transmission clean. I'm going to go ahead and mate this up to it and get a couple of bolts started. Looks like the transmission is tilted back a little bit from the top, so that may or may not be an issue. But I got all the bolts laid out in the proper order there. Hydraulic mount, greasy liquid came up off the concrete floor. That's good. Got the transmission mounted up in no time, sitting on that transmission jack. So I'm going to torque those bolts down, and then I'm going to tie the exhaust manifold gasket on with dental floss. Then I'm going to take that mount out on the other side near the harmonic balancer, because we got a new one of those coming in the mail today. We got this harmonic balancer, chunks coming out of it, it's falling apart, so we got one to replace it from the salvage yard. So let me go ahead and knock this one off and pop that one on. I'm going to look for the groove in it. The groove is on this side. That lines up with the serpentine belt or the timing belt on the front side. So I'm going to make sure I put that in the same position. And that pin is walking out of there. That pin shouldn't be out that far. Got this harmonic balancer on. Minor cracking, but it is a lot better shape than the other one. Then we got the exhaust manifold gasket on there with dental floss. We got this mount over here out, ready to drop the new one on. As soon as those parts come in, then we'll be ready to go live. And oh no, I need to do this heater core junction. Let me go inside, tear that heater core out of there, and do that heater core junction so that could be done. I think we bought this mount for here. Let me check that. That mount's not real bad, but I think we bought that mount, so we'll probably replace that real quick as well. Here's that mount. Goes there. I'm gonna go ahead and pull that cowl off and replace that real quick. Then we'll go inside and do the heater core junction. There it is, folks. Cabin air filter sidekick debris. He's gonna vacuum that out real quick with a shop vac. We got this mount replaced. Getting ready to put this little firewall trim piece back on. And hey, you can see the O2 sensor sticking through the exhaust down there. Then we'll get this firewall junction loose. Vacuum all this stuff out of here so it don't get down and clog up your cabin air filter. Then you want to make sure these are clear so you don't get water overrunning this stuff and into your floorboards. both sides. That one was clogged on that side. You can see all the dirt that fell out of it when we went to clean those out. So we're going to clean this firewall trim piece off and put dressing on it so it looks nice. This car has a seat that works every once in a while, very intermittent. So we're going to replace the controller under the seat and hopefully that'll fix it. It's got some error code. I don't remember what it is, but we're going to replace this and then check the error codes. This is the controller under the seat that your seat controls plugs into. I'm not going to disconnect the battery, shouldn't need that. I'm just going to reach under here and replace this. This goes in here, I believe like this. Yeah, it goes in there like this. So this is the way it goes in. It's got screws on the bottom of it. Really hard to reach unless the seat's all the way up, which I don't know if this seat will go up, but let's give it a try. Turn the ignition on. See if the front of the seat goes up. It's going up. You might have a chance. Nope, the seat goes up, but the bracket and motor stay down. So we're going to pull these two covers off the top with a flat tip screwdriver, or a little pry bar, pry them off. Take those two 14mm screws out of the front of the seat. Then push the top of the seat back, which should make this rock up high enough for us to get that stuff out of there. In the meantime, I'm going to unplug those 3 plugs on the front. Try to reach back, unplug the 2 plugs on the back. You can see the 2 gray plugs back there. And then unbolt this. Pry it up on the front edge of these and they popped out. They pushed down on that piece there, lock in place. Now I'm going to take that 14mm loose there, 14mm loose there, and rock this chair back. Tilted that seat back. We got a zip tie holding this deal here. Let me unplug these. Ooh, ah. I don't think none of these are airbags, so hopefully it won't set off no SRS light. But maybe it will. We'll find out. We'll reset it if it does. I got the 3 on the front unplugged. Then I twisted it to the side. Now I can reach the 2 gray ones on the back and get this pulled all the way out. Push a little tab on there. Alright, I'm going to put this other one in, and hopefully this will fix our problem, provided that this is the problem. But we'll see. Alright, those 2 plugged in. Put this back in position. Get the chair hiked back up and get those screws in the bottom of it. Some dirt up in here. Looks like seat cushion foam. Let me tilt the chair back, put those 2 screws back in the bottom. Tighten those 14s back down. Tighten the screw back under this controller. The controller seems to be working great now. Put the screws in the bottom of that. Tighten that screw down. Now just set this in place and press it down. You can clean under all this stuff if you got time and want to, but there it is. We should be good to go. Got some quarters, pennies, hairpins, dirt, and a couple of other things that is legal in Nevada, so I guess it ain't no big deal here. So we had a control box, T25, 14mm ratchet wrench, pry bar, screwdriver to scoop stuff from under the seat. So that's what you need. Went and had supper. Starting to get dark. Come back. Bam. Parts I ordered from IPD came in already. I ordered these parts I think Friday. That last heater firewall junction hose. Man, I hope this thing fits good. And this engine mount. You can get the Volvo engine mount about 140 bucks. Or you could get this one for about 30. Ooh, this looks a little different. Nah, this is it. We'll go ahead and drop this in, bolt it in, then work on that firewall junction. Got the cabin air filter put back in, get this trim piece at the base of the window in after it's been dressed with some detailing stuff. That mount in. Now I'm going to go inside and pull this heater core in those lines so I can replace that junction. Then we'll be ready to drop this engine back in. I'm going to put this heater hose on there. This is the one from Volvo, the end. And let me show you the one from this aftermarket company. The one closest to me is from the aftermarket company. That one's from Volvo. So this aftermarket one is a little longer to go in the clips. I got the junction here. I might lubricate that and wipe that on there and see if it goes in too far. And there's like a burr on the hose here. Let me take this off. Probably don't need to come off, but I'm gonna take it off anyway, just so we can get it out of the way and see what it's like. Manufacturing burr. I think I'm going to plug that into the heater firewall junction to see just how it goes in. There's a groove on that. That's not good. That one's super smooth. I doubt it'll leak, but it'd be nice if that was smooth. That thing's falling down my fingernail. I will say this hose is a little thicker than the OEM hose. Feels thicker and a little stiffer. OEM hose is a little squishy. So hopefully this thing will last. Got the clamp on. Ready to pull this engine back up in the air and drop it down into the engine bay. Time to dig this. Man, I almost fell off this tire. Heater core out of here, get it out of the way so I can do this firewall junction. I believe this heater core has been replaced not long ago. If not, I probably replaced it recently with a Swedish car parts core. So let's get this thing out and see what's going on with it. I put a screw in the bottom of this panel to hold it up. Yep, heater core looks like it's been replaced with a Swedish car parts core. But you know, I think I'm gonna call it a night. Do this first thing in the morning and drop this engine in. If you feel that this information was useful, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications of future videos that I post. You can follow me on Twitter, and if you need to contact me directly, please visit my website. And if you have any questions, leave them below, and someone or myself will reply to them. Again, thank you very much for watching.